I saw this a while ago, and I wanted to make a video on it, but we just kept on getting too much Pokemon Sword and Shield news through the interviews and 90-minute gameplay reviews and stuff like that. But this is huge, because a guy found a shiny, wild, legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The idea behind this is that, in theory, it's possible, but it just doesn't feel possible because of how rare shiny Pokemon are, and then how rare it is to find a wild, legendary Pokemon like this. So what the guy does is he actually adds Junichi Masuda inside the tweet and says, first case? And then Junichi Masuda actually replies with maybe first case. So that means it took almost a year to get a shiny, wild, legendary bird in Pokemon Let's Go. It's that rare. However, of course, people are going to be responding to this one, and we're going to see, like, how many times this has actually happened, because I've thought about it, but I've never really, like, digged into it super hard. And if you just do a basic Google search, and you just go, like, shiny, wild, legendary, let's go, you're not going to find anything. You're going to find, like, the wild, legendary guides and stuff, but you don't see anyone really broadcasting their shiny. So then I added Reddit to my search term, because that's going to be, like, one of the most common ways of finding niche information that might get buried in that way. Just look for a Reddit post that's commenting about it. But the thing is, I couldn't just do legendary Pokemon. Like, I had to look up all of them individually. So, you know, wild Zapdos, or wild shiny Zapdos, Pokemon Let's Go, Reddit, and I finally found this one for Moltres, and it happened December 8th. What? So, someone got that lucky that early in Pokemon Let's Go, and no one talked about it? Let's just go and watch the video, because it's crazy. Like, oh, that's a Moltres shadow. I love it. It's like going out for the Chansey. So, suggesting that this person has a catch combo of some kind, going out, sees a Chansey, and then is like, wait a second, here's a Moltres over there. Wait a second, that's a shiny Moltres. That just, the impossibility of that is insane, but at the same time, one thing I like to comment whenever I'm talking about, like, shinies and encounters and soft resetting and stuff, is that the odds are very low, but millions and millions of people buy the games. So it's going to be guaranteed that like thousands of people will pick up a new Pokemon game for the first time and then start the game with a shiny Pokemon, or have their first wild encounter be a shiny. And this is also shown by, like, the anecdotal stories of someone having the shiny Ralts in the Ruby Sapphire encounter with Wally or something like that. So it's going to happen at some point, and I guess since a lot of people are finding wild shiny or wild legendaries, those first couple of people I just stumble into it might also have a shiny as well. And the actual legendary Pokemon themselves, that came out super early. Finding out about legendary Pokemon spawning in the wild was like day 2 stuff, and it was kind of sketchy from there because Pokemon Let's Go was already hacked. Like, there was already randomizers for the game before they came out, because early copy, data mining, reverse engineering, hacking, Pika Hex, and all that stuff happened so early on. So it's like, we gotta have some hands-on encounters for that. So even in my title, I had to put no hacks, catching Moltres on Route 2, wild legendary bird guides for Pokemon Let's Go. So I was like thinking, oh, you just reset the area really quick, maybe you need a catch combo, so let's see if I can make it happen. And I was able to make it happen, so I made a video, and that's a November 18th video. So this information dropped quick, it dropped hard, and then people found out about it. But then the question was, well, everything else is shiny unlocked, and even the static encounters for the legendary birds are, so it'll happen at some point, which is why when I saw Junichi Masuda tweeting this, amazing, and that's all you need. You just need that little bit of the pinkish purple Moltres to go, wow, that's massive. So Junichi Masuda got 1.6 thousand likes, 127 retweets, and then the guy's tweet also did really well because Junichi Masuda just like retweeted it, so you click on his thing, you come here, and then 3.6 thousand likes, 609 retweets, 78,000 views. That's pretty solid, but it didn't go like incredibly viral. I feel like if this was something first week that blew up as much, it would have been like tens of thousands of likes and 1,000 retweets or something, maybe close to 1 million views, hopefully. I don't know, Pokemon Let's Go wasn't as hype as it should have been. I feel like it should have been a lot more popular, but a lot of weird things and just the Pokemon community being pretty dead came into play. But it kind of created like this really weird thing. However, it happened a lot earlier, just got no attention, which also contributes to like the weird deadness of the Pokemon community right now. So there's just a lot of weird stuff, but it happened and it's real. But also a lot of people, you know, there's just the negativity the Pokemon community needs to calm down. Lol, yeah right, countless people have shiny Moltres legitimately. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about getting it in the wild, because almost no one has one of those. Like, yeah, you can soft reset for the shiny Moltres, or you can bring it over from Pokemon Go. Like, the wild shiny Moltres is so rare. We even have developers for the game just kind of being like, yeah, that might be the first case. I wonder how like, if you spread this around Game Freak, like, we programmed this into the game, right? This is possible? and it took this long? And after a bit more digging, I was able to find this video, but this goes back to June 2nd. 4 months, 5 days a week, 4 hours on average, 250 plus hours, 100 shinies rejected, so you gotta reject all those wild, just that shiny fodder that gets in the way. 100 legendaries rejected. We are honored to say, hunting wild shiny Zapdos is a success. And there it is, in the game. It's legit. It's insane. But I think, I just want to have a little bit of critique. This isn't meant to be, like, anything negative, but that is a trash thumbnail, to be honest. And I mean, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, shiny, wild, and then it cuts off. I think it need to just be, like, shiny, wild Zapdos, all caps, in the beginning, or, you know, shiny, wild, legendary Pokemon, because then that's how you know. That's how you get across. So there are a couple of instances of this happening, but it only has to be, like, a few dozen tops in the Pokemon community when it comes to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that is how rare the wild, shiny Zapdos, Articuno, or Moltres is, and even then, like 2.7 thousand views. I feel like something about this would have been more well-known, would have blown up a lot more, and with early June, I feel like this guy had the unfortunate timing of having it finally happen with like Pokemon Sword and Shield, E3, did we know? I don't remember if we knew about the announcement of the Direct on June 2nd, but I mean, there was just like so much build-up, like, okay, Pokemon Sword and Shield news is happening soon, and the only thing I care about is when that announcement is coming, and this finally ended up dropping with not the best SEO, to be honest. I'm just saying that as like advice, because it tells me nothing about this being a wild shiny, and it's hard enough to search as it is, and I couldn't really find it just doing wild shiny legendary, but I eventually stumbled into this video, so it shows that's happened a couple of times, and that's just some really wild stuff. And another thing that was really interesting is as information came out about Pokemon Let's Go, the Pokemon Company officially acknowledged this happening. As a bonus, once you've caught each, you'll have the opportunity to find more of them flying around the Kanto region after you've become the Pokemon League champion. At that point in the game, you'll be able to soar high in the sky and counter flying Pokemon by taking Charizard, Aerodactyl, or Dragonite out of their Pokeball. Legendary Pokemon have a very small possibility of showing up in the wild there after you've built up a large catch combo. Check out our catch combo strategy guide to learn more about this useful technique, and then we go into this and it's pretty much everything you need to know about the catch combo, but also mentioning potential, which as I talked about in my recent Pokemon Sword and Shield Battle Academy. If you want to learn how to get competitive Pokemon Sword and Shield, definitely recommend checking out that video as well. That they like the official things refer to IVs as potential, and here we just have like just a real acknowledgement of that. It might have been interesting to put that in the video as well, that this was something as recent as Pokemon Let's Go, where they're showing you all the potential stuff and how it, like just a straight up guide about how it works, and then also showing you a shiny Pokemon. So the Pokemon Company really telling you everything about how catch comboing works inside of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which I find interesting, but I feel like this is kind of inaccurate, that you don't need a catch combo, and I think a large catch combo might even get in the way of getting legendary Pokemon. So that goes back to another weird thing about Pokemon Let's Go. Pokemon Let's Go, that game is going to be like dead and forgotten once Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out, and it's just going to get more and more lost the further we just go into the future and stuff, but we're still not going to know many things about the games. The data mine had some inaccuracies in it. The odds of shiny Pokemon feel very, very inconsistent, more so than any other Pokemon game, and then when it comes to legendary Pokemon, we don't know their spawning priority. Because what I did was I did a stream. I was like, you know, how long to get a wild legendary bird in Pokemon Let's Go? It took me 2.5 hours just to see a Moltres pop up like this, but that was because I had the catch combo going on, and that's funny, I bumped into Dragonite first. Because I had the catch combo going on, so Dragonite and Charizard were also frequently spawning, and I'm wondering if they actually had spawn priority over a legendary bird spawning. And then got Moltres, just a regular Moltres, nothing special about that. And then this is another interesting one. So the best legendary Pokemon farming guide, wild legendary Pokemon tested, I did it with no catch combo, and I was able to get them faster. I got 2 in 238 encounters in 48 minutes, and I was like, alright, maybe I got super lucky. You can get a wild legendary bird every 30 minutes inside of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, if without a catch combo, but then it takes like 2 hours with a catch combo. Now, luck in RNG is a really weird thing, especially when you're dealing with these kinds of crazy numbers, but it felt very, very consistent while I was doing without the catch combo. However, that means the shiny odds are going to be lower. I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be lost with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee kind of becoming a forgotten game, is what is going to be the most optimal way of getting a shiny legendary bird. Because it might be something interesting, like if you get an 11 catch combo, the shiny odds are good enough, and here's me getting it at a 14 encounter, which is absolutely insane. I start up a stream. I did this as a live stream that kind of like converted into a guide. It took me 4 minutes, and I was like, oh, I expected to be here a lot longer, and I kept on going, and I got 2 within an hour, so that's nuts. But when I was thinking about it, it's like maybe if you get an 11 catch combo, that makes it to where Dragonite and Charizard don't spawn frequently enough to get in the way of the legendary Pokemon. My rough guess is that it takes maybe 1,000, like the odds of getting a Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres are like 1 in 1,000 by themselves. And I don't know how much the catch combo affects that, because it took me so long to get that Moltres, but then it took so little time to get the Articuno, and I think that's why maybe that Dragonite and Charizard get in the way. So it is 1 in 1,000, but by having a higher catch combo, it makes it easier. But then Dragonite and Charizard could overwrite that lower chance of getting it, and then just doing it completely neutral, I was able to get a lot of legendary Pokemon this way. That I have competitive Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, and multiples of each, because it is that easy to do it. So maybe if you do 11, it drops the shiny odds a lot, and then you also need a Lure. Lure increases rare Pokemon, Lure increases shiny chance, but then you'd have to do this for a very long time. Imagine trying to go for a shiny Pokemon, where I think maybe we could get the odds down, because at a catch combo of 11, I think it's 1 in 1,000, then the Lure makes like 1 in 800. So imagine a 1 in 800 shiny hunt, where you only get 2 encounters per hour. That's going to take a very long time. Now, I might get lucky in like 3 over consistency. I might have been unlucky in this one. Maybe it's every 20 minutes you can get a legendary Pokemon encounter. But then going back to this guy, it looks like he did it with a full catch combo and was able to get it in 250 hours, which might make more sense. Maybe if you're just going strictly for a shiny legendary bird, having it to where you're getting less of the legendary Pokemon spawning doesn't really matter because your odds drop so low compared to if you just have like a 0 or an 11 catch combo. It's one of those I think it's going to be one of those cool things that just kind of remains a mystery, unless we actually figure out how legendary spawning works. But once again, no one put in the time to really figure out everything about Pokemon Let's Go. You know, the data miners are like the hard numbers that we normally have for any other Pokemon game. We just don't have for Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. So we can't even do the theory craft. We can't even run the numbers about that one. Like, how does this happen? Is it 1 in 1,000 for legendary birds? Does that drop to like 1 in 250 for Charizard Dragonite? But it is confirmed that Charizard Dragonite do get priority in the table or something? Like, how does it all work? Is it 1 in 1,000 for Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, and then that gets lowered down to like 1 in 250, but then Charizard Dragonite get in the way, but then when you have the 1 in 200 odds, it balances out in some kind of weird, crazy way? Or maybe it's like shiny odds to get like a legendary, so it's like shiny squared, which is just millions of encounters, but when you have millions of people getting millions of encounters playing the game all the time, it's bound to happen at some point. So we're going to see how this happens. It's just another fascinating thing that's going into Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like I said, there's going to be people that pick up the starter for their first time, it's going to be shiny. There's going to be people that first encounter, it's going to be shiny. And the funny thing is, most of them are going to be kids that have no idea what it means, what's going on, and they might not even encounter the Pokemon. Like, imagine if the first time you see a new wild Generation 8 Pokemon that you've never seen before, and it's shiny. That has to be one of like the coolest ideas of anything that could ever happen in Pokemon. But like if you miss like the little shiny animation, or you see the shiny animation, so you're like, wait a second, this isn't even what the Pokemon looks like. So you won't even know the Pokemon's original appearance until you go out and get another one. It's a wild time. We actually have this. Junichi Masuda, Game Freak, actually acknowledged it as well. So, Pokemon Let's Go's got some really cool stuff, and I guess we just get to hang on to this mystery forever. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.